Guys, I'm literally leaving the office now. And I know sometimes we make it look so easy, but the truth is, it's not that easy. Literally, if you look at the time right now, it's 12:35 and I'm leaving the office at this time. I had so many things to do today and I just had to get them done. So literally everybody's gone and this is me going home. Interesting thing, I got myself AirPod Maxes. So the whole concept was I am finding myself, especially with my team, when you have an international team and you're working with different people, you find yourself on many calls. And I think after COVID, everybody's sort of doing online calls and stuff. So I had AirPods, which were really amazing, but my ears started to feel a bit weird. They started to feel a bit compressed after some time. So I thought, you know what, let me get these AirPod Maxes and let me see. And one thing that I learned, which is quite odd, is that in Africa, whenever you buy a product from Apple and you return it if you don't like it, in South Africa specifically, and I'd like to call them out on this and leave the comment section, let them know that it's wrong what they're doing. You can't return that product. If you return it, they basically take about 10% or 20%. But here, in the UAE, or rather Apple itself, says that you've got a 14-day return policy, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. Because if you trust your product, why would somebody want to return it, you know? So yeah, just something quite interesting that I saw today. But today was a fruitful day, very productive day. And yeah, let's go home. You know, one thing about different countries is that different countries have different cultures. The one thing I've noticed about the UAE or Dubai is that Dubai sleeps very late, but wakes up also very late. People here, 5 a.m. is not a thing in this country. People here wake up quite late. In fact, if you go to gym at 5 a.m., some of the gyms are not even open. They only open at about 6 a.m. in the morning. So it's quite a peculiar country in that life continues on quite late at night. And I think it's because of the heat, because it's quite hot here. So people generally don't want to do stuff when it's very hot. So in the evening, not that the cooling down helps, but it cools down very, very slightly, which I think people rather enjoy. Hey guys, give me a moment. Drink your water, that's important. I want to talk about not dwelling on a moment. And I had a very tough business situation that was, it looked really bleak. And I listened to something that changed my perspective completely. And what it said whenever you've got a problem, there's two things within the problem. The first one is an opportunity to pivot, an opportunity for you to grow. And the second thing is the seed of the solution. Two things. First, the opportunity to pivot, to grow. Second, the seed of the solution. Whenever you've got a problem, that problem comes with the beginning of a solution. And in business, one of the problems that I had was a financial system that we were sort of integrated in. And this system was sort of very prejudiced to what we're trying to do, and it was very problematic, basically. And within it was the seed of the solution. And the seed of the solution became, what if you pivot to another country so that you integrate other systems and learn how other systems work? And ever since I did that pivot, I came to a different country, got to understand how they do their payment systems. They work differently, they're more efficient, more advanced, they are better, more profitable. And it really opened up my mind to say I could go back to the country where I really struggled with that, and I could implement those solutions and do so well. So within the problem was the seed of understanding how to pivot or how to do even better in that seed. But also, therein lied promotion. Because had I not experienced those problems, I would have never pivoted or got to the point where I get to another country to be able to solve or experience
a different way of that problem or solve that problem, that would have never happened because I would have been comfortable where I was. So I'm grateful for that. And I want to take it a bit deeper to say, in the moment when the problem exists, I did not feel the way I'm speaking right now. This wisdom was not there. In that moment, I just wanted to sleep. I wanted comfort food. I was just stressed out. But at the end of that moment or the next day, or, as the days go by, I look back and I'm like, every problem came with the seed of its solution. And I think that's so pivotal and so critical for us to look at, to say, whenever you experience any problem, it might be a problem in your finances, a problem in your business, a problem in whatever you're going through, whenever you've got a problem, it's important for you to realize that there is a seed of a solution within that problem. And I want to tell you a couple of stories of some great entrepreneurs that I know that had very big problems. And within those problems, there came seeds of great solutions. One of the people that had a very big problem was Steve Jobs. He didn't like the way computers or devices were built. He didn't like how the design was working or functioning. And he created some of the best devices that we're still even using. I mean, today, just to make this example, I got myself AirPod Maxes, I believe that's what they're called, so that I'm able to do some of my online meetings much better, noise cancellation and stuff like that, especially when I'm traveling. And the seed of design germinated into this huge empire that solved so many problems for people all around the world. Another entrepreneur, Stephen Bartlett, he had lots of energy issues and he pivoted into this new energy thing that he's got in his podcast. But so many people have got problems and we all are faced with different challenges, and it depends, how do you look at your problems? Is your problem the end and be it all of that thing for you, or is it a seed for the solution and a way for you to pivot? And I think the more I understood that successful people are people that took their problems as seeds and they pivoted within the solution. Because the difference between you and the person who succeeded is that they both faced those challenges. The big difference was, what did you do with that challenge?
JP Morgan report confirmed it. It said Bitcoin miners are now decoupling from the price of Bitcoin, and their stock prices are no longer following cryptocurrencies. They are now following artificial intelligence. Ladies and gentlemen, lovers of peace and freedom, those that have fought against the system and won using decentralization, we are under attack. The market has given us a verdict. The smartest, most well-capitalized players in the Bitcoin system are now fleeing the network as their hash rates and their computing powers now pivot from Bitcoin to AI. The security of the Bitcoin network will decline and might even fail, leaving what we call a zombie chain. A hollowed out shell vulnerable to collapse where no one is using the chain anymore. It will no longer be peer-to-peer currency because you won't be able to move your Bitcoin to someone else because there will be no one to validate that transaction on the blockchain. And as a result of that, the Bitcoins you have will be stuck or rendered useless. I am sending out the warning. If Bill Gates wins at this, he would have destroyed the whole cryptocurrency world, and every young person who is out there who has crafted a way for themselves that is devoid of the current system and the way it treats people. I, for one, did not make my money from the centralized system. I, for one, did not think like this because of the centralized system. I, for one, joined Bitcoin at just $2 and advocated for it because it was indeed a true, honest, decentralized finance system. But now I watch as barbarians are trying to take over what we build. This brings us back to Arthur Hayes. When he said ZEC is going to go to 10,000 US dollars, it wasn't just a random tweet. It was the conclusion to this entire thesis. Bitcoin wasn't our final product. They hijacked it. But we must pivot. And in this moment, when they think they have won, we must send out the message to every single person who holds Bitcoin to say, dump the first draft. So there you have it. Bitcoin has been hijacked, and their plan is to destroy everything that has to do with decentralization. They want everyone to use a centralized government-owned financial system and to be kept under their control, under their surveillance, under their scrutiny. To a point where when it is time for them to offer you a chip, time for them to take away your home, time for them to control your finances, you have nowhere to hide and nowhere to go. I thought they had us until I saw it differently. Bitcoin wasn't the final product. It is just the first draft. We have an escape against these globalists that tried to control our world of freedom. In 2016, a group of cryptographers, they did what Bitcoin's small blockers refused to do. They fixed the protocol. They forked Bitcoin's original code. They kept the DNA of Bitcoin, a fixed supply, scarce supply of 21 million coins. But they solved Bitcoin's two fatal flaws. Number one, they solved privacy failure. Yes, Bitcoin is now the zombie chain. It's public, it's transparent, everyone can see the transaction. However, Zcash, it uses military-grade zero-knowledge proofs, zero-knowledge cryptography called ZK-Snarks. It allows for shielded transactions that are completely private. The network can verify a transaction, a valid transaction, without revealing the sender and the receiver or the amounts. What they saw, they were able to attack. Now we are moving into a realm where they are not permitted to see. What is this ZK or Zcash or this ZK-Snarks? Zcash is true electronic cash. It's anonymous. It's like paper cash in your hand. And second, they've solved utility failure. Zcash is built for use with low fees and fast transactions. It's the peer-to-peer electronic cash that Satoshi dreamed of. But Bitcoin itself, during the war, it became a wounded soldier. Satoshi's revolution was never about creating a digital pet rock for Wall Street to hoard in their vaults and become richer. It was about creating a usable private peer-to-peer cash. Bitcoin has now become a failed zombie chain. It's betrayed its own purpose, and now it's guarded by these barbarians who are abandoning it for AI. The king is dead, but the revolution continues. The new thesis is simple. Bitcoin was insurance against fiat. Zcash is insurance against Bitcoin. Share this with 10 people.
I'm not gonna act all special and say when you have a problem, when you have a challenge, it's just easy, you wake up and there's a seed. No. It's a trained mentality that sometimes does not make sense, doesn't feel comfortable, feels very different, because the nature of a problem is that you have exhausted the current thinking faculties of that solution. So the problem is stressing or frustrating you because you've exhausted everything you know about how to solve it. And I don't know what it is, but the beauty of sleep, my goodness, I can't overemphasize the importance of resting. The beauty of resting is that it gives you a new perspective when you wake up, and the beauty of just forcefully continuing to solve that problem gives you momentum up until the problem is solved. So those two things are very special things. So I want to re-emphasize this because I think a lot of times when entrepreneurs hit big problems, rock bottom, things are not working, your business is not profitable, you're exhausted, so many issues, we're so quick to raise our hands, give up, and let it be. And we forget a very important, critical principle. There is a seed of the solution. There is a way for you to pivot. And when you do that, not only do you assist yourself, but you assist so many things and so many people there afterwards to be able to do so themselves.